From 1665 to 1666, a bout of bubonic plague infected large amounts of Europe, and especially London. This time was named the Great Plague of London. Despite the name, the Great Plague was one of the lesser bouts of the bubonic plague. The reason it got its name is because it is one of the last major epidemics of the bubonic plague. While it might have been one of the smaller plagues, it did live up to its name in number of casualties, as it certainly didn't have a short number of deaths. They claimed over 100,000 London casualties and statistically killed 1 in every 4 Londoners. These numbers may seem small, but with a population of 350,000, it really shows how bad it affected London at the time. Luckily, if you had the Black Plague, you're sure going to know it. A few symptoms are extreme vomiting, pus-filled boils, and blackened skin and limbs that will eventually start to decay and fall off.
The Great Plague spread and entered through London from trading imported goods and food. The disease was spread by rats and other rodents that carried the disease on UNOC trading ships sailing from the Black Sea. There, the rodents would infect villages, cities, and trading ports, then eat the goods and foods in those areas, spreading the disease to London. Some of the first effect was on trading, since the rodents carrying the disease traveled a lot by trade. People stopped trading and sailing for a while. A more lasting effect was in the first year. The death toll was up to 30% to 50% in all places that were affected by the plague.
The death toll was so high, it is believed that the plague put a large dent in the world population.
Along with the threat of the plague came a lot of false cures. While some of them were reasonable, most of them were purely superstitious or irrational. One common practice was bloodletting. Bloodletting meant the removal of blood from a patient through various methods. This could include cutting your wrist or using leeches to suck out blood as well as the disease. Some people believed that the plague was God punishing them for past sins, so to repent and cleanse themselves they would use self-discipline such as whipping. Burning of herbs was also a method used, and they believed that by doing it, it would purify the air. So-called cures also involved ingesting chemicals such as arsenic or mercury that would worsen your condition considerably and even kill you. One of the most famous symbols from the Great Plague of London was the plague doctors. They had an ominous inhuman presence, wearing a beak stuffed with herbs and spices that would purify the air that they were inhaling. They were commonly depicted wearing a black cloak and black top hat. They used canes so that they could prod the patient without getting too close, and to use them to get a response from the patient without having to risk getting sick. Although they looked semi-professional, they didn't do anything that actually helped their patients or to stop the spread of the plague, and most of them ironically died.